Chaotic situation at Lagos State House of Assembly as impeached Speaker Mudashiru Obasa resumes at former office. Telecommunication experts call for more protection of global connectivity infrastructure. And 8 states reel out successes of partnership with federal government's primary healthcare memorandum of understanding. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We are live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Former Speaker, Lagos State House of Assembly Mudashiru Obasa has returned to the State Assembly complex, accompanied by a detachment of heavily armed personnel. He made straight for the Speaker's office that he once occupied and attempted to gain entry. Lawmakers could be seen gathering under a hut in the garden discussing the situation. Police personnel have been deployed in and around the House of Assembly complex to maintain law and order. Loyalists and supporters of the removed Speaker came in their numbers, singing and pledging loyalty to the former Speaker. Musa Toliat will give us an update. He is at the scene right now to tell us how it all unfolded. Over to you, Musa.
I'm right here at the Lagos State House of Assembly, where early this morning news filtered in that the incumbent Speaker, Mojisola Miranda, actually had her security details removed from her. And so that leaves her with no security details at all. And a few minutes after that, we heard that the removed Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, actually drove into the complex with detachment of policemen. Now, around this House of Assembly complex, people are gathered here, journalists are also gathered here. But outside the gate, you have massive loyalists of the removed Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, rallying support, singing and dancing. Some even came in large numbers of commercial buses. Now here, the lawmakers have actually addressed the press, and they said it without mincing words, that the leadership of APC should wade into the crisis of the assembly before it degenerates. And after that, the removed Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, also addressed the press, saying that he remains the Speaker. He has not been removed until due process has taken place. We're still staying here at the House of Assembly complex to get latest developments as they unfold. From the Lagos State House of Assembly here, I am Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Musa Toliat speaking earlier on the ongoing saga at the Lagos State House of Assembly. Now, President Bola Tinubu has demonstrated commitment to creating a fair, transparent and efficient tax system that will drive economic growth, encourage investments, and ultimately improve the standard of living for all citizens. Stakeholders have in the last 3 days been brainstorming with the lawmakers on the legislative framework. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
When the federal government introduced the proposed policy on tax reforms, some segments of the public expressed reservations. The intense consultations and engagements with stakeholders by both chambers of the National Assembly have paid off, as confirmed by the Senior Special Assistant to President Tinubu on National Assembly Matters Senate, Senator Bashir Ladu.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, has the nation's best interest at heart in introducing these reforms. It will improve investments and also ultimately improve the standard of living for all Nigerians.
They would be able, with the VAT officers, they will be able to know exactly what Kano is contributing, and they will be able now to apply that in the derivation principle.
Meanwhile, the Senate Committee on Local Content has reiterated its resolve to ensure improved business environments for economic growth and job creation.
When we talk about local content, we always think about the oil and gas. It is not. It also concerns the mature industries, construction, manufacturing. Are they able to apply local content in their own area of operation? So we'll be interested in the mature industry as well as the oil and gas industry sector.
In another development, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Megari Dingyadi, has reassured Nigerians that at the heart of the Renewed Hope agenda is the desire to develop the capacity of citizens to compete favorably with contemporaries across the world.
We are going to work together to ensure that we improve the services that we are providing to Nigerian workers, to Nigerians in general, and to our dear country.
When we train these people, they will become industrialists, they become entrepreneurs, and the unemployment will be reduced. So tomorrow you will not even see, okay, what is NDE doing?
We would not want to watch Nigerians being exploited. We would not want to watch Nigerians' welfare being tampered with. We would not stay to watch Nigerians and employers not obeying what the Constitution says.
The Senate Committee on Labour has asked agencies under the ministry to do more on skills development among the youth population. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
In the meantime, a town hall meeting is held in Abuja to discuss tax reforms for persons with disabilities. Stakeholders, including government officials, disability rights advocates, and representatives from the private sector, gathered to explore ways to provide tax relief to persons with disabilities. Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi reports.
The foot of my prosthetics was severe, and I couldn't walk. I was thinking I can't afford the millions to replace it.
Advocates presented a strong case for tax waivers or exemptions, citing the significant expenses incurred by individuals with disabilities. They argued that providing tax relief would not only alleviate financial burdens, but also empower persons with disabilities to participate fully in the economy.
Advocacy and awareness and sensitization of the tax bill eventually when it's passed. The second is tax incentive is very important to us because it will promote investment in the community.
Providing the exemption for them for their assistive device, and also providing room for them to have fun that can support their health, can support entrepreneurship.
The stakeholders also discussed potential mechanisms for implementing tax reforms, including amendments to existing tax laws and regulations.
There are areas where we need laws to be enacted and regulations to be produced to address gaps that we have identified, including possibilities of including this in the ongoing tax reform that we are embarking on currently.
An opportunity for the PWD community to be engaged in the process.
The outcome of the meeting is expected to inform future policy decisions on tax reforms for persons with disabilities. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi, NTA News.
In other news, the International Submarine Cable Resilience Summit is in progress, with renowned global telecommunications experts calling for more protection and securing of this key element of global connectivity. The conference, aimed at taking far-reaching measures to ensure sustainable telecommunications, is taking place in Abuja. Ayodeji Makinde reports.
Submarine cables carry 99% of world data traffic, serving as one of the backbones for digital economy of nation-states. With over 1.4 million submarine cables laid in different territorial seabeds around the world, cases of damages have led to global internet disruptions, as experienced in Nigeria in February 2024, affecting financial markets, digital trade and governance. In a deliberate attempt to make these submarine cables less susceptible to threats, experts from over 40 countries converged on Abuja for the International Submarine Cable Resilience Summit. Leading advocates and the International Advisory Board, co-chaired by Nigeria's Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, commit to strengthening global efforts and protection based on technical merits.
We have taken decisive steps as a nation to recognize and protect telecommunications infrastructure as critical national infrastructure.
By better anticipating risks, we can better prepare for swift, coordinated action in response.
Our role is to promote open conversation, build trust, and ensure that submarine cable networks remain protected and resilient for the benefit of the global community.
As Nigeria, under President Bola Tinubu, targets a $1 trillion economy, administrators in the digital ecosystem remain focused on domesticating resolutions and, more importantly, preventing another submarine cable cut, which could shut all out of internet connectivity. In Abuja, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
For Nigeria to strengthen its strong economic base to be at par with global economies, stakeholders in the Nigerian project must do more to unlock the nation's vast potentials in all sectors. This was the Vice President's message to the 50th inaugural lecture series of the Nasarawa State University, delivered by a professor of capital markets, Uche Uwalike. Ngusia Peve reports.
The audience in this hall for the 50th inaugural lecture series of Nasarawa State University CAFI was held spellbound by the erudition of Professor Uche Uwalike on the ways the economic deficit of the country can be turned to gains. Affirming his chair as a professor of capital market, Uwalike says agriculture, medical science, ICT and engineering are areas which, if well harnessed, have the potential of changing Nigeria to one of the developed economy in the world.
There's need for us to deepen the capital market, to strengthen it, to be able to provide, funds, long-term funds to meet that objective of providing a supportive environment where entrepreneurial skills and competencies can be sharpened, such that they are now everything, the entire actors can now be in a position to unlock wealth.
Vice President of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, in a message assures the citizenry that federal government will key into some recommendations embedded in the lecture.
This gathering of scholars and policy makers reminds us of the need to bridge the gap between theory and practice. We must believe in the enduring power of knowledge and its ability to shape the trajectory of a nation.
Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Sadatu Hassan Liman, appreciates the choice of topic as it touches and addresses the economic challenges in Nigeria.
His lectures have given us recommendations on the way forward for Nigeria in order to leverage on the entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Topic of the lecture is unlocking wealth and leveraging entrepreneurial knowledge ecosystems, understanding capital harnessing essentials. Nguse PV, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. More reports in a moment. Stay with us.
Have you heard the news? The federal government of Nigeria, through its direct benefit transfer program, has started the disbursement of 75,000 naira per household in 3 installments of 25,000, 25,000, 25,000 naira. Each recipient must have a validated national identification number, NIN, to receive the payment on behalf of their household members. To benefit, your household must be in the National Social Register of Poor and Vulnerable Households in Nigeria. The federal government's direct benefit transfer program is helping to reduce the effect of suffering while promoting financial and economic inclusion for the poor and vulnerable population in Nigeria.
Sunana Safiya Ismail, ni daga Gwagwalada Area Council a karkashin Giri. Ina da yara 7 da mijina. Sana'ana sadda itace. Akwai damuwoyi da yawa, rashin kudi. Da musanta zaka ga itace zai kare, ba kudi ne zaka siya wani. An kira ni, "Ayi Safiya Ismail?" Nace yes. Come for your benefits at Angwando do Gwagwalada. Suka bani ATM din, immediately now withdraw kudi na. Amman gaskiya kudin ya zo at the right time.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, in collaboration with the National Social Investment Programs Agency, National Social Safety Nets Coordinating Office, and the National Cash Transfer Office.
You're welcome back. The Nigerian Air Force has confirmed an incident involving its personnel and some civilians which occurred on the 26th of February at Ngwan Gangare Barakalau, Kaduna State. Statements by the Director Public Relations and Information Air Vice Marshal Lushola Akimboiwa indicates that the unfortunate incidents resulted in injuries to some individuals who are currently receiving medical care at the 461 NAF Hospital. Additionally, the Nigerian Air Force deeply regrets the loss of a life and have reached out to the family of the deceased to express condolences, assuring them of a thorough investigation and justice. The statement adds that the Nigerian Air Force remains a highly disciplined and professional force committed to upholding the highest standards of conduct in all engagements, as a full-scale investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident is already underway. The Primary Healthcare Memorandum of Understanding, a 3-year partnership between the Nigerian governments, Gavi, and UNICEF, is paying off as 8 implementing states are sharing successes on reduction in morbidity and mortality rates through a strengthening PHC systems and effective routine immunization. As a learning and dissemination engagements, drivers of the Health System Initiative are reviewing the commitment and targeting the project's sustainability. Murjanatu Adam Saeed reports.
27 local governments.
It is not a political meeting, but politicians are the participants here. 8 Nigerian states of Bayelsa, Gombe, Jigawa, Katsina, Kebbi, Niger, Taraba, and Zamfara commit to the 36-month health program. And at this national close-out event, leadership of each state highlights key lessons learned and impact, with Jigawa State connecting the program to its achievement of being the first state of the Federation to eradicate polio.
We went in house to house, and with the help of the traditional rulers, with the help of the local government chairman and the local government people, and we see that the immunizations to the children has been successful.
We engaged over 2,000 healthcare workers and posted them mostly to rural facilities. And of course, the needle has moved. We have moved, all our indices from where it was that was poor to where it is now. And we're not stopping, because what has been developed and the systems thereof, we hope to get better.
Recognizes the influential role religious, political, and community leaders play in shaping people's attitude towards agenda on health care.
We have seen a lot of gain. There is incredible political commitment. The states have really taken into consideration that how could they sustain these gains. So they're not really relying on the funding externally.
The close-out event is tagged from commitment to change. The PHC journey and implementing partners share optimism of state government taking full ownership of the initiative for sustainability purpose. In Abuja, Murjanatu Adam Saeed, NTA News.
The Sultanate Council Sokoto says Friday 28th February marks the start of the search for the new moon of Ramadan 1446 after Hijrah. This is in a statement signed by Waziri Sokoto and Chairman Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council, Professor Sambo Wali Junedu. The statement calls on Muslims to look out for the new moon on Friday and report any sighting to their nearest district or village head for onward communication to the Sultan of Sokoto and President General, Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Mohammed Saad Abubakar, for formal announcements. The statement added that if the new crescent is sighted, the following phone numbers can be contacted for onward communication to the Sultanate. They are 0803 715 7100, 0806 630 3077, 0803 596 5322, 0809 994 5903, and 0706 714 6900. Now, the federal government is engaging stakeholders in the livestock subsector to build capacities, improve productivity along value chains, and accelerate the implementation of the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project, LPRES, in Nigeria. Minister of Livestock Development, Sidi Mukhtar Meha, says developing the skills and knowledge of project staff is for effective delivery of the LPRES project in compliance with World Bank policies. Tokbe Alabi reports.
Nigeria is home to over 200 million people who herd over 146.1 million of ruminant livestock, with 21.2 million cattle, 48.6 million sheep, and 76.3 million goats. Presently, livestock accounts for 1/3 of Nigeria's agricultural GDP, providing income, employment, and food. As the federal government seeks to harness the 33 trillion naira revenue potential in the sector, this capacity building is to ensure project staff involved in the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project, LPRES, are equipped for efficient implementation in tandem with World Bank standards.
We are still steeped in traditional practices in terms of genetic traits, in terms of husbandry, disease management, market access, infrastructure. So it is the duty of this ministry to transform that sector into a modern, vibrant, and self-sustaining, globally competitive sector. This project has a future. Even if you finish what you are doing now, you are there with institutional memory. You can assist us in case World Bank wants to come again and change the curriculum and give us something else in the livestock.
This is really encouraging for your team and for the World Bank, knowing that the level of the importance you give to LPRES.
The investment's goal is to improve the productivity of the livestock value chain for over 1.4 million people to mitigate key drivers of farmer-herder conflicts.
So generally what we want to see in 2027 is an improved livestock production, improved commercialization, a lot of economic benefit to the livestock sector. We want to change the space of livestock sector.
LPRES is a 6-year project with development objective to improve livestock productivity, resilience, and commercialization of selected value chains. And currently, 20 states across the country are participating in the project, which commenced in 2022. In Abuja, Tokbe Alabi, NTA News.
The National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA, is to receive new office space for the agency's smooth operations. The promise was made by the newly appointed board chairman, Edward Omoyeriwa, who visited the agency on a familiarization tour to ascertain the level of work done and challenges hindering the agency's smooth operations. He was received by the Director General, Chukwemeka Woke.
We are indeed delighted to have you in our midst. But just to say that Section 5 of the Agency Act states very clearly its objective. We have implemented and executed this with optimal responsibility and confidence.
The board chairman expressed satisfaction with work done so far by the agency, promising to look into the problems facing the agency.
I can see a vast organization. I'm made to understand that you don't really have space. I'm made to understand that you don't have vehicles for operation. I'm made to understand that directors don't have vehicles. We're going to work together. I believe that we need to have a building of our own.
The chairman, however, called on the management and staff of NOSDRA to join hands with the board to achieve more visibility and the mission of NOSDRA as specified in the Act establishing it. That concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.